Hello guys and welcome to another MK Mobile character review, today featuring Klassic Jax. As usual guys, please note the date when this video has been recorded because a lot of things may have changed since then, and if you're not familiar with the matrix I'm using in order to evaluate characters, you can find it on the top right corner of the screen. So without any further ado, let us put Klassic Jax to the test. Klassic Jax guys was released on the 24th of May 2018 together with Klassic Reptile in probably the best update ever in MK Mobile 1.18. Guys, this update gave us the Elite Pack Pro. Unfortunately for us, this pack is long gone, but Klassic Jax is still here, and by the way, when it comes to his price, he was never obtainable for souls. You could only pull him in specific packs. So let's take a look at his stats. His attack is 54,338, which is the 18th highest in the game. The hit points are quite high, they are 136,896 and they rank 30 in the game. I believe only Black Dragon, Tremor and MK11 Scarlet together with the Terminator have better health than Klassic Jax. Moreover, his toughness is 49,140 and it ranks 12th in the game, and the recovery is 37,800, which is the 29th highest in MK Mobile. The power generation is quite high, it is 130%. So for his stats, Klassic Jax is going to get 23.9 out of 28 possible points. Special one of Klassic Jax guys is called Grab and Pound, and it's slightly different compared to the other special ones of the other Jaxes in the game. So let's take a look at it. What you need to know about this ability is that it is completely unblockable except for the worst mini hit, which basically deals around 20 to 25% of the total damage of the special attack. In addition, the ability has no buff or debuff unfortunately, which makes Klassic Jax not really the best special one spammer in the world. I mean, he can do pretty decent job, but not having any buff or debuff means that you can always select better characters for the job. Anyways, the special attack cannot be cast from distance because it is a grapple, so the enemy should be very close to you in order for you to grab him. It is lethal, it consists of 4 mini hits, and it has one of the worst minigames in MK Mobile, the bubbles. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the ability is 16,138, which ranks 37th in the game, and the maximum damage is 21,516, which ranks 67th. As you can see, when it comes to damage, Jax underperforms as well. Anyways, let's repeat the properties of the ability once again. It is completely unblockable except for the first mini hit, it doesn't have any buff or debuff whatsoever, it cannot be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 4 mini hits, and it has the bubbles as mini game. So for his special one, Klassic Jax is going to get only 4.8 out of 13 possible points. Special 2 of Klassic Jax guys is called Backbreaker because Jax actually breaks the back of the enemy, so it is quite self-explanatory. Anyways guys, this is the bread and butter of this character. What you need to know about this special ability is that it is completely unblockable, it has Cripple as debuff, which is extremely useful if for some reason the enemy isn't dead after your special 2. Moreover, the ability cannot be cast from distance as his special 1 because it is a grapple and you have to be just next to the enemy. The ability is lethal, it consists of 2 mini hits and it has the filler as mini game. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the special attack is 46,622, which ranks 20th in the game, and the maximum damage is 91,450, which ranks 21st in MK Mobile. Once again, the special attack is unblockable, it has Cripple as debuff, it cannot be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 2 mini hits, and it has the filler as minigame. So for his special 2, Klassic Jax is going to get the solid 14.8 out of 19 possible points. The X-ray of Jax, guys, is called Bring It, and there are no surprises here. It looks exactly like any other X-ray of any Jax in the game. Anyways, what you need to know about it is that it has very useful buff, which is power generation, and it can be cast from mid-range, which is good. However, you have to keep in mind that the X-ray will miss if you are long range away from the enemy. However, as we mentioned multiple times, we don't care about long range. When it comes to damage, the damage of the X-ray is 120,498, which ranks 14th in the game. Once again, the ability has power generation as buff, and it can be cast from distance. So for his X-ray, Klassic Jax is going to get 3.8 out of 4 possible points, and the total amount of points he's going to get for his special attacks adds up to 23.5 out of 36 possible. Now, to be honest with you, the basic attacks of Klassic Jax are pretty good, pretty decent. For example, he has, I would say, very good recovery speed, and if the enemy is blocking after one of his basic attack combos, he is actually pushing the enemy away, and considering the fact that he has unblockable special attack 1 and 2, this is really helpful for him to get to another special attack in almost no time. So in general, his basic attacks are not bad, and on top of that, I would say that the pure speed of his punching is pretty decent as well. However, what I dislike about his basic attacks is the fact that they don't really work pretty good with his special 1 and special 2 being grapples, because in a lot of cases Klassic Jax will push actually the enemy away from him, and if you press special 1 or special 2 in the process, you're going to miss. So in other words, his basic attacks are pretty good for generating power, but at the same time his basic attacks are not really great when it comes to setting the stage for a successful special attack. So it's kind of mixed, and it's kind of confusing, but this is the thing I hate about his basic attacks. So he has decent speed, decent chaining, but his basics just don't work fine with his special attacks. So he's going to get 7.2 out of 10 possible points here. If you haven't guessed already, guys, I kind of like Klassic Jax, and I consider him underrated. However, I can understand why people generally don't like this character, and the reason for it mainly is the fact that his passive absolutely sucks. And before we get there, let's quote what his passive does. When blocking, there is 20% chance that all direct damage will be ignored from special attacks. Also, when blocking basic attacks, there is a 20% chance to apply Weaken, Power Drain, or Cripple. Now, let's begin with the first part of his passive, which is absolutely terrible, guys. First of all, 20% chance for a diamond character is extremely bad. And second of all, even if you're lucky, what do you get? I mean, almost nothing, because if you block a special attack, you don't take a lot of damage anyways. So this is like, you have 20% chance to do something that's not really appealing to anybody. I mean, it is just underwhelming. Let's actually compare Klassic Jax passive to Assassin Jade, because in general she can do the same thing. She has 40% chance to not take any damage from a special attack. However, she cripples in the process, and she boosts her attack by 60%, I believe, if she has her stuff. Once again, she has 40% chance to do that. Klassic Jax just ignores the damage. That's really bad, that's really bad. Let's compare this passive to Dead Jade's passive. She has a 100% chance after she does special 2 to become immune to all kind of special attacks. And not only that, but she can reflect the damage back to the owner of the special attack, right? So you can see now how bad this passive is, especially the first part of it. And the second part of it, it is close to worthless, guys, because everybody is running block breaker. So basically blocking is not really great at all. Passives that rely on blocking, once again, unless they kind of introduce to the game some kind of gear that reduces the block breaking chance of the enemy. I'm not quite sure whether there is something like this already. I believe there was one piece of equipment that was giving something like this. Please let me know in the comments, guys. I may have forgotten it. Anyways, so 20% chance to do that, and if this 20% chance triggered, so if you get lucky, you're going to apply Weaken or Cripple Power Drain, which is good. By the way, all of those 3 debuffs are great, but still the percent is very, very low, and everybody is running Block Breaker anyways. So I hope by now you get a picture in your heads how bad this passive is. I'm sorry, I really like this character, but his passive sucks. I'm not going to stand in front of you and just start lying to you, to make this character looks better, because when it comes to his passive, it is really, really bad. And this is the reason why it's going to get just 8 out of 20 possible points. Klassic Jax is just a Spec Ops character, so he gets 1 point for classes and 0 points for tagging attack. Okay guys, we made it to the final verdict. Now, what do I think of Klassic Jax? Let's take a look at the bigger picture. Is he the worst character in the game? Is he the worst diamond in the game? I don't think so, guys. He has pretty good special attacks. Even though his special 1 sucks, his special 2 is incredibly powerful and he has very useful debuff. His stats are very good, very high health and very high power generation. His basic attacks are not bad at all. However, this character suffers from the fact that his passive is almost unusable, and unfortunately he cannot support anybody. He has 0 supportive value. So at the end of the day, guys, I really like Klassic Jax, but I realize that there are simply better characters. If you want to have fighters in your team, there are better characters than him. If you want to have supports, I mean, he is not even going to be considered because he cannot support anybody, but still he can be useful. You can play based on his special 1 if you give him Devastator. However, you have to be careful because once again he doesn't have any buffs or debuffs. You can give him items so that you can spam his special to it. He can still be useful, he can still finish Faction Wars, Heart and Fatal battles without issues if supported correctly. However, there are simply better options, and in general I prefer heavy weapons Jax. So Klassic Jax is going to get just 1 out of my 3 subjective points, and with this point he's going to score 65.5 and he's going to rank 43rd in our rankings. So with this amount of points we can label Klassic Jax as a good character. Unfortunately, guys, very disappointing performance for a diamond character, but once again his passive is simply not there, guys. His passive badly needs buffs. So Klassic Jax, final verdict, a good character. Now, to be honest, if you want to play Klassic Jax around his special 1, then he can be a decent opener, though he is not the greatest starter in the game, because in general you have to play with his special 2, because his special 2 is deadly. Still though, he has a lot of HP, so he can be a decent opener. Once again, not the best in the game. When it comes to the characters that he counters, I really cannot think of any. I mean, he can be decent against almost any character in the game. However, he is pretty bad against disablers and power drainers, such as, for example, Johnny Cage, any variation of Johnny Cage, Kenshi, every character that has power drain on tagging. Klassic Jax is not really that dangerous if he doesn't have power for special 2, so in general every single power drain in the game can be a difficult matchup for him. Now, when it comes to the best equipment for the character, I would say that it all depends on whether you're going to play for his special 1 or special 2. I would say that playing for his special 2 is the most effective way of using the character. However, if you want to play for his special 1, this is the gear that you have to give him. He needs Devastator, Rat Hammer, any armor that gives power generation, or if you want to play safe, you can give him Shao Kahn Helmet, and the 4th item can be Bloody Voodoo Doll, why not? If you're playing Klassic Jax for his special 2, then he definitely requires Soul Medallion. You can keep the other gear, of course you have to get rid of the Devastator, but definitely Soul Medallion is a must. And instead of a Devastator you can give him Bloody Tomahawk, why not? And if you wanna ask me why I don't want to use his item on him, the reason is pretty simple. His item gives boost to toughness, and Klassic Jax doesn't really have very good base toughness, he has very good base HP, and in general it gives him additional chance to do stuff when he's blocking, and as I mentioned before, his passive is almost non-existent, so I never rely on blocking when I play Klassic Jax. Unfortunately, that is the reality. And one more thing, guys, when I play Klassic Jax I almost never give him block breakers. I don't think that it is necessary. Basically all you have to do is just throw 3 or 4 punches, he's going to be there at another special 1 or another special 2, and you can repeat the process. He's not really the greatest fighter, so if you're in a position that you cannot get to another special attack, the best thing you can do is just tag him out, then recover some power and then tag him in for another special 2. Okay guys, we got to the teams now. To be honest, there is one team with Klassic Jax that I recommend. This is called the Backbreakers, and it consists of Klassic Jax, Shokan Warrior Kintaro, and the new Terminator. However, if you have the new Terminator, if you don't have the new Terminator, any other Backbreaker will do. So the thing is, all those characters have special 2s that are unblockable. I'm not quite sure about the Terminator, this Guardian Terminator, but it seems like it's unblockable. And all of them are breaking your backs, so that's really awesome. Another team that I recently played consists of Demolition Sonya, Classic Goro and Classic Jax. Now Classic Jax and Classic Goro have unblockable special attacks, and Demolition Sonya and Goro boost the attack of Jax, so Jax gets really powerful. And I play this team focused on Jax special 1, but the real deal for Jax, guys, comes when you're playing for his special 2. This is the real power of this character. So if you want to play and try this team, go ahead and use Jax special 2. Okay guys, Klassic Jax, what do you think of him? Do you like him? Do you dislike him? Please let me know in the comments. Once again, he scored 65.5 and we labeled him as a good character. As usual guys, if you want to see more reviews, you can find the list on the top right corner of the screen. And if you want to know which is the next on-demand review coming in soon, you can find the list in the description of this video. See you next time guys. Take care and stay safe.
That was for your own good.
Perfect.